Hello, survivors. Welcome back to State of Decay 2, Hyper Community World Tour. I'm your host, Get Good Fox, and what are we going to do today? Well, our base is still building. I don't need to fully upgrade it, but I'd like to get it, a little bit farther along. But what I want to do instead is I want to clear out these plague arts and do a few things. One, we're going to be able to begin increasing Layla's standing higher, so that she regains her citizenship, as well as clear our way to a landmark location. A very important one, actually. So, the first thing we're going to have to do is... oh, look at that. We're going to need to install one of these. That's going to take 5 minutes, so that takes priority at the moment. But in the meantime, let's begin our path over to the landmark. Now, we should be able to destroy this plague art pretty smoothly because we do have all of the tools necessary for expedient plague art demolition. Let's just call it that. Of course, what that means, though, is that we do need scent blocks. Also, let's see if there's anything else we can activate, as well as call any traders. We're pretty good on all of our supplies, maybe some ammo. We could come back. Basically, he'll be here for like 30 minutes, so we could just call the ammo trader now and then deal with them by the end of the episode, more or less.
Yo, I got the ammo. You good to trade?
This will just help keep our supplies going. We are raking in quite a bit from the plague arts, so it's pretty sustainable. But like I said, if you want to destroy plague arts, you really want bloater gas. Now, you don't always have it, right? That's going to be the advantage of the Echo Labs landmark location, which is why Echo Labs is either the best landmark or just a kind of okay landmark. If you don't have access to an advanced biochem station and therefore you can't build your own supply of bloater gas grenades, well, it's not good. It's going to be great. It's going to be like the best landmark in the game, because it can single-handedly deliver you your victory. Now, if you already have a biochem station like me, then it's not going to be, well, it's going to be a little less good. Also, this area is really dangerous. If you're driving through this road from basically Checkpoint Delta all the way up to Fairfield, be careful. As you saw, there's a lot of vegetation. There's a lot of shrubberies on the side of the road, and that is a great way to invite a bloater into your car, because a lot of them can be, maybe not a lot of them, but occasionally you will find them just chilling over by in one of the grasses, sometimes just laying down, and they can easily camouflage themselves and become a pretty big problem. Let's go ahead and patch the car up, and then we're probably going to need to wait a little while. I thought I had installed the biochem station already, but I guess that's just not the case. Keep the car maintained. Car is like your best friend in this game. Probably the most important thing. Car is probably even more valuable than your characters, to be totally honest. Yeah, we got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Let's just wait a moment. Okay, so biochemical station is in place. Let's go ahead and start building some. As you can see here, not an expensive thing. 6 samples, but remember, we're going to get more samples from the plague arts themselves, so we will be able to replenish them pretty easily. 3 cases of chemicals, that's the only thing that maybe you could run out of, but honestly, chemicals, when you get them, you tend to get them in a decent quantity, so you should have some left over. And 40 parts, you're going to scrap the stuff out of the plague art and easily make a profit on that. And 2 fuel, you can either get fuel out of the plague arts, or you can buy fuel from your allies or use a trade depot. And once again, you're going to get plenty of stuff to sell, so it should all be very sustainable. So let's go ahead and build a decent number of these. I want to build maybe 4 of these, because we got a lot of plague arts to destroy, actually. Let's go ahead and get this upgrading, and I'm going to pull all of our gas grenades out.
This might be too much to carry.
And the rest are actually going to go in here, where we can double stack them. And that's because, in this episode, what we might as well do is clean up all of the plague arts that are kind of, obstructing us from getting into bases and the outposts, stuff like that. So that means we're going to have to clean these 2 out first. Also, in the process, like I said, Layla will be getting her bonus. Her hero bonus will return, and that means we can promote her back to her leader if we need to shuffle around. But this is our first target. I'm not even going to be that judicious with the scent block, to be honest. We're just going to go ahead and use it, and then we should be able to transfer the rucksacks and also claim the base or the outpost. It should be good to go. Oh, here's our first one. Let's go ahead and turn on the scent block.
Okay, how am I gonna do that? This place is
Let's see if
disgusting.
anyone's inside. Yeah, we got that guy. Not a big deal. Okay, so I'm gonna put it right over here. And then I'm gonna put the fire there. Nice and clean, as you can see.
What a relief.
Now, once again, like I know some of you guys, you already know this, but I always assume there's new viewers. The reason I throw them that way is because you can use the pyro launcher to ignite the gas, but you don't want the fire from the pyro launcher to actually touch the plague guard, and that's because the fire confuses the plague guard's damage. Basically, it can cause the plague guard to ignore attacks. I think that's a bug. I do not think that's an intended behavior, but you know. Doesn't matter, intended or not, that's just the way it works, so we gotta play with what we're dealt with. So, let's throw this here, I'll put the fire, I don't know, right there. As you can see, nowhere near... There we go, nice and clean.
No more plague hard.
How are we doing on standing? Pretty good.
For already.
Probably one more plague heart ought to do it. So let's go ahead, and you know what? We'll save the actual, we'll save all of that for later.
I got nothing left.
Let's head on over, because I want the full episode where we just, like, go in and capture the base and everything. So now what we're going to do is go over here. Because this is another base we're going to move into, and we might as well clear it out. I mean, why not? Seems like a good idea to me. In addition to that, once we complete that, we'll be able to move into any base. We'll be able to claim any relevant outpost for review and move into any base without having to worry about the plague guards ruining anything. Like, we're changing the pacing of the episode, so it's overall like it's all good. We're gonna have it all done. And once again, like, if you want to crush lethal zone, this is the way you do it. Okay, we can also just have those ferals leap right into the way. I guess that's fine. Not trying to beat the car up, but we do have plenty of parts. We can build more repair kits. Also, I haven't really gone through our inventory and scrapped all the extra stuff, so we've got plenty of options. Plague Sampler, that's an easy one. Where is he, though?
I'm headed
Down here back at base.
Thanks.
Let me go ahead and remove that marker, though, because they tend to confuse me. Also, while we have our scent block on, this is a great time to refuel. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. Actually, never mind. I need to put one in. We're probably going to have to reapply our scent block, but that's why I brought multiple cures, just in case. There we go. Continuing on. Now, my bet, the thing about the farmland compound, which is, this will be the final base we review, even though the farmland compound isn't technically the largest base in the game, it's not, it's a 6-man base instead of an 8-man base, it has the highest price, and I think that's, I also think that's just the most relevant component of it. But the thing about the farmland compound is, because it's really isolated, it's really easy to find the plague guards, because all I gotta do is look at the building, and I'm like, well, it's probably this, and it's probably that. But first, we will naturally do our due diligence and reveal both of the plague guards. Although, actually, we're on the clock on our scent block, so I might just rush over and try to finish it off. These plague guards are in a very exposed location, if I remember right. Yeah, very exposed, as you can see. So I might just try to quickly blitz it down. A little closer. Even closer? Okay, so it looks like in my impatience we wasted one. That's because I was hoping that maybe we could handle this within the time frame of the scent block. But what we could do now is just hammer it down. Because it should be pretty, but yeah, look at that. Really banged up there.
Show you all the wonderful explosives we could make in this lab.
Leave me alone, please. Alright, so the last one has got to be over here. So for this one, I don't want to waste the scent block just for one. So we'll just clear it out the old-fashioned way. We'll still use, like, the bloater gas. Like I said, that's a fantastic weapon to use, but what we will do is... You know, when we have scent block, we can ignore these enemies pretty easily. But when we don't have scent block, we might as well clear these fools out. Basically, pacify the local area, neutralize threats, so that we have a clean opportunity to take these guys out. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is... I want to park the car in a way that the feral can't rip my driver door off. Alright, so I got the angle here. I'll put the flyer there. 2? Really?
It's in bad shape. Gotta keep that.
There we go.
That plague heart won't bother anybody ever again.
Weird angle on that one, but we made it work.
We should start securing this area now that it's gone.
Those guys are toast. The feral is down. And as you can see, it's clear. Very nice. Nothing to it. Okay, so we're done a little ahead of schedule, so what we should do now is just start excavating these plague hearts. Might as well. So we need to clean up our inventory. Actually, no, let's change to a character who's going to be better at looting these plague hearts. Probably back to Peter. Peter is very quickly becoming our designated looting character. So someone asked, why don't I switch characters to bring rucksacks back to base? Because what you could do is you could put a rucksack on and then switch the character out, and they'll have the rucksack back at base. And the reason I don't do that is because I forget to unload them. And the reason I forget to unload them is because I play a lot of different games, and I often forget the details, and I'm always on like a very tight schedule. Like once I'm done recording, it's like bam, bam, bam. Like I mean, technically today, I'm playing Inscription after this on Twitch, so like whenever I'm done with this, it's just like zoom right into like the next thing, and it's very easy to forget like what I'm doing. So let's get Peter out. So someone else asked, why is it that I leave healing items on my characters when I switch them out? And the reason is because when I switched out a character, it has happened a few times. It doesn't happen I'm not saying it happens very often. But every now and then I'll switch to a character and get attacked by like a feral. And like, let's say the character looked like this. And all he had was, I don't know, maybe a gun to defend himself with. Like, you know, just like a gun or something. Sometimes my character looks like this, no healing items or anything, and a feral attacks him, and I'm just like, well, crap, I don't have any items, and I wasn't expecting to get attacked by a feral. And so, like I said, it doesn't happen very often, but I like to be, I just like to, in that 3%, in that 1% of the time that it happens, I just like to have the answer. And it doesn't take very long to do. It also looks like we do have a outpost that got infested. Which one? Of course it would be this one, and I'm not there anymore. Oh well. First, we will go and clean up these plague hearts. We'll drop that stuff off, then we'll burn out that infestation. I know some of you guys, I mean, I'm included, are disappointed that the new update, the State of Decay, does not address the issue with infestations, doesn't, like, tick down the spawn rates. Not sure why it's taking so long. You know, I don't work at Undead Labs, and I don't actually communicate with them too frequently, but it is disappointing. Like, I honestly was hoping that we would see some kind of rebalancing of the infestations, because they've already done it twice. First, they brought out the new infestation changes, And the first bit of feedback they got was that the infestations were actually too slow, which I agreed. You barely fought any infestations at all. Then they cranked it up. Now it's too much. So now it's time for number 3. You know, you found too low. Now you found too high. Well, now is your chance to find the middle ground. And I don't know why they have not done it. To me, it doesn't sound like it's it just sounds like going into like the programming language and just ticking it up a little, ticking it down a little. Yeah, don't tick it up anymore. Ticking it down a little bit, you know, putting a smaller number in there ought to do it. And I wish they would do it sooner rather than later, because that is a change that is not, it's not just the beta that's being affected by it, it's actually the regular game is also being affected, and that is not great. So Undead Labs, if you're listening, please tick down the infestations. They are just, I get a lot of messages of people who are like, I don't even want to play the game anymore. It's not enjoyable. In fact, it's very seldom that anyone says they like the new changes. Very, very rare. Like, only a handful of people have said it. And I'm talking about, like, I can get months of no positive feedback on the infestations. So, definitely hope you guys are gonna get ready to tick that downwards. Bingo, we're done there. So what else do we need to do? We need to do something about those infestations. So let's go over there, burn it out, and we can drop off our loot there. And then on top of that, we got an extra 2 plague guards to loot over there. This is the farmland compound, by the way. That, like I said, that'll be the final base we do. I will do Fort Marshall, even though it is technically... It's kind of... Okay, so Fort Marshall and the farmland compound are kind of weird because they don't follow the normal rules of the game. Normally, the way it works is as a base gets bigger, as in a larger amount of people needed to move in, the cost of the influence to move in also increases. So, like, the one-man base is like 0 influence. The 4-man base is typically 500 influence. The 5-man base is typically 1,000 to 1,500 influence. The 6-man base is typically 1,500 influence. And then the 8-man base is typically 3,500 influence. Well, that's not the case here in... Uh-oh. No, you don't. I'll go around. Don't worry. I'll go around. Now, that's not the case here in Trumbull Valley. The 6-man base is 3,500 influence, making it the most expensive 6-man base in the game. And then the 8-man base is only 2,000 influence, making it the cheapest 8-man base in the game, which is... It's interesting, I guess. As a result, it's kind of hard to say which is the largest base. I'm going to give it to the farmland compound, because the farmland compound does have more room for customization. It is quite a humongous base. Honestly, like I said, I do view it as the official largest base in the game, so I'm going to treat it that way as well. Alright, time to burn these fools out of here. It's a little peaceful, though, I think, so I believe I will attempt to refuel. One for all for one. I think that's a reversing of the 3 Musketeers. I feel like the Musketeer... Weren't they like all for one and one for all? Oops. I think that ignited them both. I think we're clear. Oh, and a Pharaoh. Okay. Where is he? Might have been out of range. That's a possibility. Oh, there's another infestation and I didn't even know it. And it's a level 3. How did it become a level 3? This... Just to be safe, let's search for infestations.
Can you get me some intel out here?
Unfortunately, we've got a mixed horde nearby. That is going to become a problem.
There sure are a lot of infestations cropping up lately.
One infestation and one horde. Where? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. A really good skill in State of Decay is learning how to adapt to your objectives and bounce around your objectives. So what we're going to do, because we've got an infestation we need to clear, but it's got a local mixed horde nearby, we're just going to bounce off that objective and hit this one instead. When we come back, we'll see what the situation, if it's evolved or not. Sometimes the enemies will despawn, after all. We can't rely on that, and I don't intend to, but if we get fortunate and they do despawn, then that's another quick victory for us right there. That should ignite them, so let's get out of here. This infestation is clear. That was the horde, by the way. The horde did make it, and so it did make the, it did establish itself, but now it's toast, so it's all good. Now what we're gonna do is assume the worst, that the mixed horde is still there. If you don't know what a mixed horde is a lethal zone exclusive horde. It is a type of blood plague horde that contains one of each freak as well as an accompaniment of regular plague zombies. So it has a blood juggernaut, a blood screamer, a blood feral, and a blood bloater. It's got a little bit of everything going on. Now, in the event that we do have to deal with that, like I said, I want to come prepared. So we are going to bring the bouncing Boruses, also known as Jugger Splodes. And I'm going to build a little more of them, just in case. I doubt we'll need to use this many, but better safe than sorry, right? We'll shove this in. Looks like they're still there. But like I said, we've got pretty heavy firepower. We're ready to deal with them if necessary, and it looks like it will be necessary. Step 1, bombard the area to clear out the regular zombies and probably kill the bloater as well. I'm ready with... Well, the reason he's stomping, that's actually how he puts himself out of fire. Bait another melee swing out, right on target. This juggernaut is toast. And that's how you kill a juggernaut. Grab yourself some Jugger Splodes and let those juggernauts have it. Alright, we're looking for 3 screamers here. 2 of them are right by the window. Let me torch also the door, because the zombies will naturally want to come to the door. And it looks like we got them all right there. Effective tools to get the job done right. Remember that State of Decay is mostly what I'm going to call a toolbox game. It's mostly about having the right tools in your toolbox. So we can now de-escalate our combat, because we no longer need the Jugger Splodes. Rearm. And if you don't like the pyro launcher, if you think it's too strong, you can do the same thing with fuel bombs. And what you're going to want to do is get your hands on a filling machine, because the filling machine is going to double the amount of fuel bombs you can produce for the same price. So highly recommend going for that. Like I said, even if you can't use, necessarily, or even if you don't want to use necessarily the strongest items, there are secondary and even tertiary items that you can use that will get it's a good enough job. It'll do the job. Now we can go over here and loot the plague arts. And like I said, this will all be clear for the next episode, which will probably be reviewing the base. Let's get all this upgrading. Looking good. I'm not going to upgrade this any further, or that. That can all stay the way it is. This is looking good. Everything's looking fine. So we're only losing 1 material per day, and once again, that's because I am not going out of my way to upgrade the facilities unnecessarily. A lot of facilities, just having the basic facility is sometimes enough. The gym is a great example of that. The main thing I care about is the 20 health and the mod slot. The mod slot is compatible with further health and stamina items, or mods rather. and that's really, really nice. Let's go and drop this off over here. Our outpost isn't quite as conveniently located, but like I said, I want to save claiming that. Also, another great thing about this area is it spawns a truck ton of armored zombies. Great for if you need to farm armored zombie kills. Remember this location. It is the best place to farm armored zombie kills for your bounties. Highly recommend doing it. I don't really like passing through Oasis so much because I have had some experiences with bloaters kind of around the corner, bloaters in cramped quarters there. It's kind of like, I'm not saying it's super dangerous, it's just an area to be aware of. It's like, you know, you just start to notice patterns of areas that are a little bit on the dangerous side, and this is one of them. I just remember this area to be a little bit unsafe, so it's just be careful is all I'm saying. Alright, let's grab the last plague art. As you can see, we are bringing a truck ton of supplies, plenty of stuff from each of the plague arts, rucksacks. One of them had apparently a repair kit, so we could even get the door back on. And this is the way to do it. There's a lot of plague arts in Lethal Zone. This is the way to make short work of them. If you want to get through Lethal Zone, play on like Standard Zone or something, play on the lower difficulty, and search for one of those advanced biochem stations. You mainly get them from Echo Traders. You know, they won't always have it, so just because your Echo Trader didn't have it doesn't mean, you know, like, don't give up. And then the other way to get it is from the Plague Doctor's quest. This thing's too much in the way, we're going to have to deal with them.
Won't work.
Like I said, the fire does clean up the bloater gas, so it's alright, we could drive right through it. And there's nothing to it. We'll grab the loot from here. Maybe we'll drop off those plague samples, we'll see. Let's see what we can get from this heart. Once you got a good way to kill plague guards, honestly, they're just like treasure chests, essentially. What do you got here? So, as you can see, tons of samples, you know, plenty of samples. A backpack, sell or scrap it or use it. Kanabo, scrap it if you want it. JL94, you could scrap it, you could sell the brake. Supplies here, strong painkillers, bottle of stims, pipe bomb, and look at that, fuel. That's what we needed. We need fuel to make more of them. It's no problem. Alright, let's get back home. And we'll probably give them the samples. You know, they've been like, oh god, we need the samples, or whatever it is those guys want. So here's a great example. See this? Look at this. Right in the middle of the road. You might have mistaken that as a plague zombie. It can be quite dangerous, to be totally honest. So what I'm going to do is just clean up some of these guys. This guy needs to go, though. He is really just blocking the way. I don't know if I trust it, to be honest. I don't know if I trust that. I'm gonna get out and investigate. If we get bloated on foot, it's really not that bad. Going into the air just to trigger the blast. Remember, if you get bloated on foot, it's really, really not that bad because you can dodge out of it. It's only a problem if you get bloated when you are in a vehicle. If you're not in a vehicle, it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, so we've got the samples here that we got from the plague art. Nothing to it. We'll just give it to them. Here you go. They're going to become an ally. We get jogging buddies, stamina and cardio. This is the reason why I don't advise really going too far out of your way to stack stamina and cardio. A little bit of cardio and stamina stacking is nice, but honestly, this is a bonus worth keeping. Let me show you, they give you quite a bit. You get I think 25 stamina from it. It's quite nice. Let me see the effects. It'll be in this list somewhere. There, look at that. 25 more stamina. Some people talk about how good feasts are. Let me tell you, feasts are not great. Don't waste the whole facility where you gotta spend food to make a feast when you can just get something like this for 25 stamina. And look at this. You do not have to cook anything to get 20 stamina from the shooting range. Now, if we get another one of these guys, you can get two. You can have 25 plus 25. Maybe I'll just get rid of the shooting range, because then you don't need it anymore. That's plenty of stamina. Like, I don't advise it. I don't see any reason really to spend like that kind of food, especially on like lethal zone where you don't have like, you know, food can be eaten very rapidly. I don't see any reason to do that when there's these other awesome options for getting your stamina up. And we're home. Let's see what our haul looks like. So, throw these in, and it looks like, look at that. We just got 2 rucksacks of fuel. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's going to refill our ability to make more of those bloater gas grenades. Look at this. Ammo for Jugger Splodes and Pyro Launcher, and then a bag of EMT supplies. We need that to make more Scent Block. Right over here. Scent Block, 2 medicine each. So, very, very, very nice. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. Tomorrow, I guess we're going to go claim... actually, no. Tomorrow, we're probably going to rate the base. Because the base is essentially done. Because I'm not going to upgrade the shooting range. I'm not going to upgrade the gym. Yeah, I just don't... Like I said, I just don't want to upgrade them. Because then they're going to cost materials. And the benefits you get, they're kind of not all that. The benefits of the gym is okay at level 2, but I don't know. I don't think the shooting range is that good at level 2. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Like the video if it was entertaining. Remember to subscribe and return for the review of the Tranquility Factory. But until then, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.